Big changes could be coming for those with disabilities in Athens. And an accident in New York triggers a massive emergency response.
And in sports, 3 girls teams in the TVC Ohio needed a win last night to clinch a share of the conference title. Newswatch starts right now.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
A local teacher accused of having inappropriate relationships with students has now resigned. But this all happened after he received thousands of dollars as an incentive. Good evening, I'm Katie Anderson. Thanks for joining us. Now, Matthew Sheeter, a former choir director in the Logan Hawking School District, was paid $30,000 to resign. The resignation came after multiple reports of misconduct were filed. In July, Sheeter was notified of more than 30 allegations against him. The reports say Sheeter touched, hugged, and allowed students to sit on his lap. He was placed on paid administrative leave last March, pending an investigation. School officials say paying Sheeter an incentive to resign would cost the community less.
What would have happened is we would have had court costs, attorney costs. It would have been well over 100, maybe even close to 200,000. It saved money. It just basically saved us money.
Josh says the school district's first priority is to protect its students. She does not know whether or not Sheeter still has his teaching license. The Ohio Department of Education is conducting its own investigation. And moving on now, 2 men are no longer in the hospital after a stabbing that took place last night. It happened in Chansey on Main Street. Police were called to the scene after a report that 2 men were fighting. Danny Thomas and Jeffrey Kempton, both from Chansey, have been identified as the 2 men. According to the Sheriff's Department, Kempton suffered from head injuries and Thomas had multiple stab wounds. Both were life-flighted to hospitals in West Virginia for treatment. No charges have been filed and the case remains under investigation. 2 men in connection with a string of bank robberies and restaurant robberies throughout central and southern Ohio are now facing federal charges. Lawrence Bell Jr. and Chad Timpton have been charged with a total of 7 robberies. Bell committed bank robberies in Springfield, Zanesville, Reynoldsburg, Mount Vernon, Chillicothe, and Columbus, Ohio. He is also charged for using a firearm. Tipton allegedly took part in the Columbus robbery and also used a firearm. Bell is in police custody and there is a warrant out for Timpton's arrest. And the mayor of Athens has big plans when it comes to enhancing services for those with disabilities. Mayor Steve Patterson says the city is working alongside the Athens County Board of Developmental Disabilities, all in an effort to place skilled individuals with disabilities in jobs that fit their talents. Mayor Patterson says he challenges local business owners to step outside their comfort zone.
At the end of the day, we're all human beings, and so, give every human being a chance, regardless of what, whether you may think they're different than you are or not. It's something I'm going to push for anyway, is to try to correct that culture if I can, and if I can do it by being the mayor and showing that, we all have a heart, we all have a brain.
Newswatch at noon in depth will take a deeper look into the economic opportunities and setbacks for people with disabilities. Tune in on February 19th.
From the Newswatch Weather Center, I'm Matt Thigpen. Right now in Athens, we have 37 degrees, winds coming out of the west at 4 miles per hour. And as we take a look at our overnight lows, we have 22 here in Athens, the chillier spot, 24 in Columbus, 23 in New Martinsville, clear skies tonight. And for tomorrow, we'll warm up into the 40s, and I'll have another look at that after the break.
Thanks, Matt. We have new updates regarding the water crisis in Sebring, Ohio. Ohio's Environmental Protection Agency says new samples show lead levels in tap water are now below the federal limit. The Ohio EPA says more than 250 water samples have been taken since January 21st. 9 of those homes did not have allowable levels. For homes not meeting this criteria, the village must provide water or filtration. State officials are working with Sebring to adjust its water system. They say the treatment plant and its water source have no detectable lead. And heads up, because there's a monkey on the loose in Columbus. Police say they first spotted the monkey yesterday morning eating something and sitting on a fence in Minerva Park. Officers believe it was a howler monkey. Now, if you see the monkey, don't approach it. Instead, call the police. Wildlife officials say the monkeys can be aggressive or territorial. A state spokeswoman says 10 monkeys are permitted in the state. None of them live in the area. Kentucky workers may soon not be required to join a union. Hardin County officials are appealing a federal judge's ruling that bans mandatory union membership. This ban will give companies an incentive to locate in Kentucky, according to Republican lawmakers. Now, Democrats oppose the ban, saying it will diminish the influence of labor unions and lead to lower wages. Hardin was one of 12 counties to pass a ban in 2015. And if you're a fan of raw milk and live in West Virginia, listen up. After a veto last year, today the Senate voted in favor of a bill that will allow West Virginians to drink raw milk through animal sharing agreements. The bill would let people make agreements to share milk-producing animals and drink raw milk, but it will keep a ban on selling or distributing it. Now, West Virginia's governor did veto a similar bill last year and said the bill could pose a serious risk to public health. Also in West Virginia, teachers who do not have a formal education background may still be able to be certified teachers. Education officials in the Mountain State say there are more than 20 counties plan to submit proposals this month that will allow for alternative certification. This switch will allow for more teachers in high-need areas. Proposals must be submitted by February 22nd. A board then will review the proposals next month. If you missed the deadline, do not worry. The West Virginia Board of Education plans to accept additional proposals before the start of next school year. Now, further board reviews are already scheduled for June and September. And still to come on Newswatch, Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton battled it out against last night in New Hampshire. We have the highlights ahead. And the unemployment numbers are in. More about what that means for you and your family. These stories and more when Newswatch returns. Stay with us.
What's happening, TVC basketball fans? My name is Sean Neidig, the host of Hardwood Heroes. Hardwood Heroes is a weekly half-hour show that airs on WOUB at 11 Sunday night and again at 6 on Monday. We provide you with the best Southeastern Ohio high school basketball coverage in the area, both on our show and on the web. Our reporters are at over 20 games every week to recap, so there is no way you can miss us. So tune in to Hardwood Heroes on Sunday night. And until then, I'm your host, Sean Neidig, reminding you to be heroic.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Unemployment is now the lowest it has ever been in the last 8 years. The U.S. Labor Department announced Friday that the U.S. unemployment rate is now at 4.9%. Experts say it was a solid report, but noted there are also a few warning signs for the American economy. Diane Gallagher reports from Washington, D.C.
Unemployment, deficits, gas prices are all down. For the first time in 8 years, the U.S. unemployment rate is below 5%. January's 4.9% is the lowest since February 2008. Another good sign, wages are finally going up. The January jobs report shows a 2.5% wage increase over the past year.
That does not mean that we don't have more work to do.
As experts and rivals point out, hiring is slowing down. Back in December, the economy gained more than 260,000 jobs, and economists projected almost another 200,000 would be created last month. But today's report shows the actual number came in below expectations, adding just over 150,000. Falling oil prices are also continuing to hurt America's energy sector, which lost 7,000 jobs in January. And those weren't the only pink slips being handed out. More than 75,000 jobs were cut last month, which is far more than usual, even for a time when layoffs typically increase due to seasonal jobs ending. Now, something President Obama acknowledged remains an issue for working Americans.
There's still anxiety and concern about the general direction of the economy.
In Washington, I'm Diane Gallagher.
Next year, one of these two Democratic candidates is hoping to be the next president. The debate between Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton quickly became heated, with the candidates sparring over health care, Wall Street, and who is more progressive. Mary Maloney has the highlights.
I'm not making promises that I cannot keep.
Hillary Clinton took a clear swipe at Bernie Sanders in a debate that was passionate and at times combative.
The Republicans want to repeal the Affordable Care Act. I want to improve it. I want to build on it, get the cost down, get prescription drug costs down. Senator Sanders wants us to start all over again.
I am on the Health Education Labor Committee. That committee wrote the Affordable Care Act. The idea that I would dismantle health care in America while we're waiting to pass a Medicare for all is just not accurate.
Clinton accused Sanders of smearing her progressive credentials.
I really don't think these kinds of attacks by insinuation are worthy of you. And enough is enough. If you've got something to say, say it.
I mean, instead of arguing about definitions, let's talk about what we should do.
But Sanders didn't back down.
I am very proud to be the only candidate up here who does not have a super PAC, who is not raising huge sums of money from Wall Street or special interests. In my view, the business model of Wall Street is fraud.
Clinton trying to tout experience, also attempting to distance herself from Wall Street's big money.
I have a record, I have stood firm, and I will be the person who prevents them from ever wrecking the economy again.
I'm Mary Maloney reporting.
And in Lower Manhattan, 2 people were seriously injured and another person had a minor injury after a crane collapsed. Now the crane landed on parked cars and stretched for what appeared to be a full city block. There was a massive emergency response with nearly 150 firefighters from more than 33 units on the scene. Mayor Bill de Blasio said the person who died was sitting in a parked car and noted no workers were hurt. He said the crane was being moved into a secure position by the manufacturer as instructed to do when winds top 20 miles an hour. The collapse happened as they were lowering the crane to secure it. New York was under a winter weather advisory this morning. The forecast called for snow and sustained winds between 16 and 18 miles per hour and gusts as strong as 29 miles per hour. Mayor de Blasio says precautions are being taken for the remaining crane.
We're instructing right now all 376 crawler cranes to be secured. Whatever is the most secure position for them in a wind condition, they've all been ordered to be secured immediately. In addition, the 43 tower cranes, the larger cranes in the city, have all been ordered to go into a secure position immediately.
And staying in New York, on Wall Street today, the NASDAQ ended at its lowest level since October of 2014. Here's a look at stocks of local interest. Many people don't have to worry about high cholesterol until they're older. Well, doctors say that isn't the case. Details coming up in today's Health Minute.
And after the break, we'll take a look at my full forecast, extended forecast, calm weekend, and our next chance for snow.
Nestled in the heart of the Hocking Valley sits a town with a story. A story carved from mountains of coal, mixed with a little clay and sprinkled with a dash of culture. It's a story of national significance and local pride. A story rooted in the past that's still being written today. Join WOUB on March 19th at Nelsonville York High School for the premiere of Our Town, Nelsonville.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Welcome back to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm Matt Thigpen. For tonight in Athens, we'll have 22 degrees, clear skies, seasonable, around average. Our average is high or low for the night would be 19 degrees. Our winds will be light and variable. They'll calm down. I know it's a little breezy out there right now, but they will calm down as usual for the night. Overnight lows regional. We have 23 in Ripley, 22 in our cold spot here in Athens down in the valley, and we have 24 in New Lex. And as we head on to our tomorrow's highs, or right now, tomorrow, we'll see the high pressure will dominate our region. As we take a look at our high pressure over here, we'll see this low pressure on the East Coast giving the snowstorm to New York City, Washington, D.C., and New York City and Boston. There we go. We'll move out of the area and we'll bring us dry weather. For tomorrow, in Athens, we'll see a high of 48 degrees, sunny skies, a few passing clouds. So not totally sunny, but it'll be sunny. Don't worry. You'll just see those little high wispy clouds. For the above normal, winds light and variable, 0 to 5 miles per hour coming from the west. As we look at tomorrow's highs, our hour by hour, 8 a.m., 25 degrees, chilly, frigid morning. For our noon time, we'll hit 40 degrees, sunny skies by the time you get out there and start doing your good old mail. 48 degrees by 4 p.m. And for our temperatures, we'll have 44 for our high in New Lex, sunny skies across our northern locations, few clouds down in our south towards Ironton at 48 degrees. And for our Super Bowl Sunday, we will hit 50 for the pregame, 46 for kickoff, 41 for the final whistle. But we will have to watch on Sunday into Monday, moving into next week. We'll have to watch our weather. And as we look at our 7-day forecast, we'll see that we have 48 for tomorrow, 50 for Saturday, clouds increasing. Monday, 60% chances of snow and rain mix, and then it'll continue into Tuesday, into our Mardi Gras, where it'll continue to snow, and into Wednesday as we have snow showers. Thursday and next week into Friday, we'll go to more average temperatures. Back to you, Katie.
Thank you for that live report. And many of us don't even start to think about the dangers of having high cholesterol until we hit middle age. But new studies are showing that young adults should be thinking about their cholesterol levels early to ward off dangerous heart disease later. Well, we have the details in today's Health Minute.
As a young woman, Nicole Diaz Nelson was very surprised when her doctor gave her some unwanted and very unexpected news.
I found out that I have high cholesterol about 2 years ago. I was completely shocked because I was in my mid-20s and I had been vegetarian for a long time.
And she's lucky she found out as early as she did. because recent studies are showing that having high cholesterol early on can put you at a much greater risk for having heart problems when you're older.
So specifically, for every 10 years that a person has high cholesterol by the age of 55, their future risk of heart disease was increased by about a third. The American Heart Association, American College of Cardiology do recommend screening young adults for high cholesterol, and then repeat screening every 5 years or if risk factors change.
Diet and exercise are the main lifestyle changes that can be made at any age. But for those with very high levels of cholesterol, medicine might be needed to keep it in check.
For Health Minute, I'm Adam McCoy.
And your doctor can test your cholesterol levels during your regular checkups, but also many local drugstores offer these tests for free or for a low cost as part of total healthcare screening event various times a year. Now let's
Thanks, Katie. Good evening, everyone. I'm Justin Holbrook. As you already heard, SIBS weekend is almost here, which means a busy weekend in sports for the Ohio Bobcats. Stay tuned to find out what it will take for the men's and women's basketball teams to bounce back at home tomorrow. And keep it here to find out which girls team won the TVC Ohio last night and the freshman player that set a new three-point record in only 3 quarters. And here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
What's happening, TVC basketball fans? My name is Sean Neidig, the host of Hardwood Heroes. Hardwood Heroes is a weekly half-hour show that airs on WOUB at 11 Sunday night and again at 6 on Monday. We provide you with the best Southeastern Ohio high school basketball coverage in the area, both on our show and on the web. Our reporters are at over 20 games every week to recap, so there is no way you can miss us. So tune in to Hardwood Heroes on Sunday night. And until then, I'm your host, Sean Neidig, reminding you to be heroic.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open. You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Welcome back, I'm Justin Holbrook. Last night, 3 different girls teams in the TVC Ohio were playing for a share of the conference title. A long year it's been, and it's been a struggle between Alexander, Nelsonville York, and Vinton County, with all 3 teams beating and losing to each other at least once. And last night, all 3 teams played their last conference game of the regular season. And a win would mean at least a share of the TVC Ohio Championship. The Alexander Spartans made quick work of Wellston, crushing the Rockets by 38 points. And speaking of 38 points, that's exactly how many points freshman Rachel Richardson had last night. She set a new school record by making 9 3-pointers, 7 of which came in the first half alone, while she sat out the entire 4th quarter. Meanwhile, Vinton County dominated the Athens Lady Bulldogs by 26 points, meaning there would be at least a 2-way tie for first place. Both of those games wrapped up by halftime of the Lady Buckeyes game at River Valley. NY led by only 3 at half, but exploded for 19 points in the third quarter and went on to win by 12, giving the team its first title in a decade, resulting in a 3-way tie for the title. And while those 3 teams led the conference all season long, the Ohio Bobcats women's team has also led the MAC East all season. The team is coming off an 8-point loss to Buffalo on Wednesday, its first MAC loss of the season, which also snapped the Bobcats' 12-game win streak. In that loss, Ohio only made 5 of their 29 3-point attempts. The Lady Bobcats will get a chance to bounce back tomorrow when they host Northern Illinois, who they blew out by 25 points 2 weeks ago. Tip-off is set for 11:30 in the morning. Immediately following that game at 2 in the Convo will be the men taking on the Huskies as well. Tomorrow's game is a rematch of the MAC opener for both teams, where Ohio lost by 11 back on January 6th. Ohio is coming off a 12-point loss to Akron on Tuesday, where the Bobcats tied their second fewest points all season, while Jerron Simmons turned the ball over 8 times. Northern Illinois started MAC play 5-1, but have lost their last 3 games, and Ohio will look to take advantage of the reeling Huskies. A win for Ohio would improve its record to 500 in the MAC. And like I said, a busy weekend for Ohio athletics, both at home and on the road. The Ohio track and field team is taking part in the Akron Invitational. Action started at 3 o'clock today and starts back up tomorrow with field events at 10 in the morning. At the Thundering Herd Invitational at Marshall last Saturday, the Bobcats finished in 7th place out of 15 teams. And while Ohio's track and field team is beginning their season, the Bobcats swimming and diving team is wrapping up theirs this weekend. Ohio travels to Marshall to take on the Thundering Herd as well as Toledo. The meet started today and lasts through Saturday. After the meet, Ohio will have some time off before the MAC championships start in Bowling Green on February 24th. And don't forget to end your Super Bowl Sunday by tuning into WOUB at 11 o'clock for the 5th episode of Hardwood Heroes. On the show, we'll have a breakdown of all the upcoming games of the girls' playoff games and a look back at the past week of TVC basketball action. And if you're looking for more things to do on Sibs Weekend, the Ohio club hockey team is taking on number 16 Illinois tonight at 7:30 and tomorrow night at 7:30. So a lot going on in sports. But before all that, I'm going to toss it back to you, Katie.
Great, thanks Justin. And take a look at this. The 3-month-old polar bear at the Columbus Zoo finally has a name. Meet Nora. After a worldwide poll, Nora was chosen from the 4 options given to online voters. Nora is a combination of the cubs' parents' names, Aurora and Nanook. Nora was born November 6th and is being raised by zoologists with the species survival plan. The baby polar bear has recently started swimming and running around on her own. Very, very cute, and I'm sure the polar bears will be enjoying the cold temperatures coming our way. Let's toss it over to Matt with one last look at our weather.
As we take a look at our weather, tomorrow's highs won't be polar bear weather, a little too warm, but 48 in Athens, 44 in New Lex, 43 in our state's capital, with sunny skies across the area. And for our Super Bowl Sunday forecast, like we had in sports, 50 degrees by 4 p.m. pregame, 44 by kickoff, 41 for the final whistle. And as we take a look at our extended forecast, nice weekend for Sibs Weekend. Get out there, enjoy Athens. 41 for Monday with the snow and rain mix moving into the region. We'll have all snow Monday night. Tuesday, Mardi Gras for all those party goers. It'll be snowy and slick, so watch out the roads. 28 on Wednesday, and we'll cool down into our seasonal temperatures. Back to you, Katie.
Definitely looking forward to the warm weekend, but not the snow. Thanks, Matt. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Katie Anderson. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.
What's happening, TVC basketball fans? My name is Sean Neidig, the host of Hardwood Heroes. Hardwood Heroes is a weekly half-hour show that airs on WOUB at 11 Sunday night and again at 6 on Monday. We provide you with the best Southeastern Ohio high school basketball coverage in the area, both on our show and on the web. Our reporters are at over 20 games every week to recap, so there is no way you can miss us. So tune in to Hardwood Heroes on Sunday night. And until then, I'm your host, Sean Neidig, reminding you to be heroic.